In this video, I'm going to organize the data. Here's the stock return data, so let's insert a pivot table. And we have the date in the row, make it down there, the date in the row, the ticker in the column, the return the values. Pull this over, copy all of this except the last column here, Control C, go to a new page, Control V. First thing I want to do is get rid of this stuff at the bottom that says grand total. So come in here and you can just Control minus, or you can delete, either one you want to do. Go back to the top, call this the date, and it's really important to get this stuff organized. I'm going to get rid of these top two rows just by deleting, and here I'm going to clear the contents. I want to have this formatted right, so format the cells. It'll take just a second for it to come up, and I'll do a date format. Excel is having a little bit of problem here. Okay, here we go. So here's the date format, like this. Come across here, put this in number, and give it some number of decimal points, maybe 4. Bold, underline, center. I want to set the width of all these columns to be minimized, so I just come up here and double click. And now I want to freeze the panes, so click on whatever row you want, come to view, freeze the panes, and now when I go down I can see exactly what's happening. So I'm going to label these returns. We'll come here, home, merge and center, label that returns. I need to have the portfolio next. So I want to have the Fama French data. So I'm going to go to Fama French, take all of this, Control C to copy, get rid of this, come here, and now notice I can't go in row 2 of how I've highlighted the entire column, so I need to go to row 1 to Control V to copy that. Then I can highlight this, Control plus, and that'll let me shift the cells down. I want to make sure the dates line up, and they don't, so I need to get rid of this, so I can, well, the best way to do this is Control minus, and this will shift the cells up. And I just check the dates, and the dates all line up except this last one. That doesn't line up, so I'm going to get rid of that. So clear the contents, Control up, put a little blank right there. Maybe we'll make this with a, that's not what I want. Make this with black, and go back to get this one the way it's supposed to be. The risk-free rate I want it to be by itself, so Control X, move over here, Control V, and then I can come to this column and then Control minus, and that column goes away. I want these to be formatted right. The numbers, I don't need the dates because I know they line up, so Control minus and the dates go away. And now at this point I have the Fama French factors, so I could, if I wanted to, go ahead and label this Fama French factors, and of course this is the risk-free rate. So here I want to have the portfolio, so it's portfolio minus the risk-free rate. I want to make sure that I have that. Somewhere I need the portfolio weights, so I'm going to take all these stocks right here, Control C, come down here, and I'm going to paste special, transpose, and I'm going to format those back the way I had it before. Call these my stocks, call this my weights. And I want to make sure this looks good the whole time, so I'm going to put a border around it. All these need to be in percent. So what you would do is you would calculate the percentages you want, and rather than going through the calculation to find the weights of each one of the stocks, there are 10 of them, so I'm going to give them 10%. Sum that up by hitting Alt, by pressing Alt equal. Sums to 100, so I know that I have that. So now I need to have the returns for the individual stocks. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to move it down 1 so I can see that box around there. So what I want to do is multiply the weight of the stock times the return of the next one plus the weight of the next stock times the return of the next one, but that's going to take me forever. So I'm going to do matrix multiplier, so mmult. And this is a 1 row by 10 column, so 1 by 10 can be multiplied, comma, by 10 by 1, and the result is a 1 by 1, so this is going to work. When I copy this down, the weights don't change. So I press F4, Control Shift Enter. This is the portfolio return, but I want to subtract the risk-free rate. So subtract the risk-free rate, and I have the excess returns for the portfolio. Double click to go down with it, and go back up. And now I have my data organized. So I'll stop with that, and we'll do the calculations next.